Hi everybody, my name's Steve Cullen and today I'm going to do a little tutorial on fishing lures in the winter. It's probably the most effective technique when it comes to winter fishing. In fact, it is the most effective technique. I'm on a little lake here and as you can see it's very, very cold. I've got the place to myself, which is ideal, so I can move about and try different things, but we're going to start with one of my favourite still water lures. I literally can't see past the thing and it catches me fish everywhere. And that's a damsel. My damsel is a little bit different. It's got a tungsten bead. It's just a plain Fritz body and a plain marabou tail. There is nothing fancy about this fly. It's the way that I fish it that tends to bring about success. So it's crystal clear, it's freezing cold, but my first line of approach is going to be a slow intermediate, so I can fish this fly from just under the surface to a little bit deeper down, depending on the retrieve that I use. And we'll look at retrieves in a little more detail shortly. Always wear sunglasses. I say sunglasses, Polaroids. Like I say, this is crystal clear water and quite often fish will cruise around the sides. Hence I use a damsel with a tungsten beak, 'cause it's got that plop. You can also see I've got a very long leader. And the reason for that is I want to keep my fly well away from my line. Now what I will do is, because you do get a lot of fish cruising the margins, I'll just have a little speculative cast and see if anything comes for a look. Because it's so clear, these fish will come from like 10, 15 feet away to come and have a wee look at this fly. Always best to check the margins. Nothing. So, I'm going to start in a fan cast. Left, short to left, middle, short to right, right. Just covering that water. And my first retrieve, because it's so cold, will be your normal figure of 8. So I'm just going to put a cast. Now this line is a slow-mo and it sinks at like 0.5 inches a second. I'm just going to let everything get bedded in and then I'm going to start slow figure of 8 retrieve. A little bit jerky every now and again, just jerk the line. But I don't expect these fish to react to a fast moving lure because it's so cold. And it is really, really cold. Always watch that fly as it comes in. Just as if you're fishing a boat. Fish that hang. A little bit further, a little bit more line out this time. Again, give it time to sink a little bit, just a little bit. And a steady figure of 8 retrieve. This is a great way of finding fish. And I'm looking all the time at the edges. Sweep the rod to the side and up, see if anything's following. Just that change of movement can make such a big difference. Straight out this time. Straight out in the middle of the lake. There's a fish. There's a fish. Keeping my rod down. Oh, nice fish, nice fish. Very long leader. He's ours. We'll just release him. That'll fly out. Oh, wrapped around his. Get this fly out his mouth. Damsel. Nice tangle. There's a fish here. We've got a fish with the damsel. Never took us long at all. This one's a resident fish. You can tell because he's long and skinny. So even fish, this is probably stocked last year. If I can just settle him down. Probably stocked last year. So thin. Skinny wee fish. Let's get him back. So we're going to try another retrieve now, and this is my favourite with the damsel. What I do is I'm going to let it get down for 10 seconds. You can obviously go around the count, so as soon as it lands, straight away, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, blah 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 until I hit the bottom. But this is my best retrieve, and I jerk it. It's not repetitive, it's not the same as you see other people doing. It's basically, I mix it up. Mixing, and usually in that pause as it falls, that's when you get a take. Sweep it up again, watch for any fish following. My fly's not fishing right. So same again. Give it 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull your line, keep it tight. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Every time I pause and let fall, my line locks on the rod. Again, sweep that rod up. Watch for a following fish. Fly's fishing well. lovely fish on the damsel. Although damsels and the like are my first choice, this one in particular, if you look at closely, I will fish white lures, coral, a little bit of coral there, in black. I love black in the winter, black and green, black and orange, black and olive. Absolutely love them. So, although the method that we used was particularly with the damsel, because you seem to be favouring the damsel today, and that is often the case with rainbow trout, the damsels really work a treat, especially those ones with the tungsten beads. But also black flies, white and coral. Just swap the lures until you get one, because they will favour one particular colour. And another point worth mentioning is, if you're catching successfully on one colour and then it goes off, just change your colour of fly and you'll have more success. So let's have another closer look at this little damsel. This is the fly I prefer. Plain marabou, olive fritz, tungsten bead. And it's that tungsten bead that's the key to success, and I find that with a lot of my lures. My winter lures I tend to tie with tungsten beads. Summer, brass beads. Come the winter, tungsten. Just such a good fly. Such a good fly. We've had with a figure of 8, and then we had one stalking as well. But then the shark pulls, so now we've got to try roly-poly. And to do this effectively, I like to get my fly down a little bit deeper. So, it might be a bit cold, but if they're in the mood for chasing, we just got to tuck the rod under our arm, tuck it under the arm, again give it 10 seconds just to get bedded in because it's cold, but keep that in tension, and now roly-poly. Just steady away. I like to keep low when I'm doing this because they'll follow all the way in. Has a follow. Fish followed. Fish followed there. I think it might be a bit too cold for this. But I did have a fish follow. Oh. Bang, bang, bang. That's we nearly had one. So I gave that a little bit longer, that's probably 15 seconds. So we'll go 15 seconds again. Rod under. But just steady away when it's really cold. Keep that fly coming back. A little bit of movement every now and again. Jerky and part. There you go. Oh, that was a fish. And part of jerk. That was a fish. So the fish are obviously wanting it slow today. And then we had my favourite retrieve. Now, when I'm in a pool, my finger locks on here, locks on there, always locks. Pull, pull, lock, let it fall. Pull, 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 lock, let it fall, let it fall. It's a mixed up, jerky retrieve. It's not the same thing over and over. It's changing all the time. But it's often on that, when it falls, the fish will take. Just mixing up that retrieve all the time. And then finally, we had, tuck the rod under the arm, like so, and then steady. Keep that rod low to the water, the tip of that rod low to the water. Steady, roly-poly. It should be continuous, not jerky. Continuous. Like that. Super, super smooth. Super smooth. So there you go. How to fish lures effectively in winter. Key things obviously is the fly. I love things with tungsten beads. Today it was the damsel, however I will chop and change. Black, black and green, black and olive, white. Coral's a good colour, so is pink when it's really, really cold. The other key features was the retrieves. For me, when it's cold, first thing in the morning, it's a slow figure of 8. Every now and again, some imparted jerks in the retrieve. That works really well. But the jerky retrieve that I do, mixing it up, full them around retrieve, a bit of everything, but mostly just jerks, pulls and pauses. That's deadly effective throughout the whole year. Very good in winter. And then obviously the roly-poly. We had 2 fish on in the roly-poly, but unfortunately we missed them. But yeah, just a quick short session on a small still water, busy still water mind you, but you've seen just how effective it is fishing lures in the winter. If there's one method that's going to succeed more than anything else, it's going to be fishing lures. And today, the line of choice is a slow intermediate. However, I will go down as deep as a die 3, but most of that stuff can be fished on a floater. I really hope you enjoyed that, folks. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. There's far more fly tying and fly fishing videos on there. Hopefully there'll be more to come.